We've known each other a long time. You never had this much trouble. You gonna make it through this, Dante?
What am I doing wasting my time here? He's got this.
You should not underestimate this demon. After all, it was he who took your right arm and gained a great deal of power from it. I'm leaving. I suggest you do not fall behind.
Yeah. Okay, V. You're an interesting guy, but you're right. I've got a score to settle with that son of a bitch.
And on that note, welcome to my Let's Play of Devil May Cry 5. As said before in the introduction video, every character will be played on a different difficulty, so starting as Nero, we will be playing on Dante Must Die difficulty, just because it's the difficulty I'm the most comfortable with. I will try and remember to show off all the Devil Breakers as we go through, but the key word is try, because I am the most comfortable with Gerbera, and I'd rather just use it. Specifically the DLC Gerbera, that should never have been the DLC Gerbera. So don't be surprised I'm using Gerbera for like 90% of Nero's playthrough. As we press on and follow V, this mysterious individual that's tailing with us, as we get closer to this giant demon that Dante is already facing. Yes, I am already kitted out with everything, similar to the DMC4 Let's Play way back when. I'm doing this off my main save I've just done, but because it's on DMD with Nero, it will make it interesting anyway. And because I'm not that great as Dante, it will make the Son of Sparda playthrough that he'll do hopefully interesting as well. The only character I really don't care for is V, because I just don't like playing as him. I respect the risks of getting it wrong. I respect that the way they tried to just do something different and see where it got them, but there was a lot more they could have done with it. And I get that that's easy for me to say as an outsider to it who's played it, that they could have done X, Y, and Z different to make V more fleshed out. The main thing being that they should have given V a moveset. They should have given V a direct moveset and not become 100% reliant on his demons and nothing else. And in my opinion, they should have made it so you can, if you do his technique after you kill a demon of pressing the circle button again, like the moment he pulls the cane out and you warp to another enemy, that warp should kill regardless of the strength and regardless of how much health they have, just because then it becomes a matter of picking out the weakest of the lot and making a chain. And I think that would have just made his gameplay loop more interesting. But that's just me, and I'm getting off topic already. This prologue level will introduce you to two basic enemies. We've already seen one of them, and the other one's now getting introduced now. These little flying guys have the lowest, the green and Pusa have the lowest HP of anything in the game, so don't be surprised if they die in 1 or 2 hits, especially on normal. But they're healers, so you should really be prioritizing them, because if left alone, they will just heal the demons you're fighting against. And on DMD, where enemies can devil trigger, that's not something you want. And I guess I should explain what DMD actually is, just because I don't think I've ever actually covered a Devil May Cry game on Dante Must Die on this channel. I think every game I've covered, like 4 was Son of Sparda, 1 and 2 were normal, and 3 was on hard. So yeah, I've never covered it. In every single Devil May Cry game, Dante Must Die is the hardest difficulty of the game. But there are some differences with DMD. Firstly, starting with Son of Sparda, or very hard in DMC3, enemy placements are changed. Every enemy in the game is repositioned to be somewhere else, and late game enemies will start showing up in earlier areas, with the example here being that this queen is in this prologue area and she's not supposed to show up till mission 5 normally. So you have an extra enemy to deal with. But the other one, and the one you're going to notice, is that if one of 2 conditions are fulfilled, enemies will devil trigger. The first is if enough time passes, and how much time has to pass for the enemy to devil trigger is dependent on the enemy, so I'm not about to go into the specifics. and the other is how much damage they sustain. If you get an enemy to near death, but don't finish them immediately, they will devil trigger. You can tell when an enemy's devil triggered because they've got this purple fire effect around their body like this queen has now. When they DT, they'll do increased damage, have increased defense, and in general just be a real pain to deal with.
Hey, thought you took off.
Do you not understand? We cannot hope to do this without you.
That's all right, superstar. Go on with your bad stuff. Go ahead. We got this.
I will, like in every Devil May Cry, be making an active effort to try and get S ranks. And just like every Devil May Cry ever that I've recorded on this channel, if I die, I reset the mission. I don't do checkpoints in Devil May Cry games. If I die, no, I want to do the whole mission in one. So any deaths you see, if I then cut back to that same room, know that I did the whole mission again to get there. And I'll be able to prove it too when it pops up in the ratings at the end and it says no continues bonus. You'll see that in every single mission without fail. Come on. I know it's because I'm talking. There we go. So I know I'm talking as well, so it's going to distract myself. So I'm going to be less consistent with Nero's revving, which I'll explain in a minute because we've got more cutscenes.
Looks like this won't be a total waste of time after all. Hey, jackass! Did your mother ever teach you it's not nice to steal? Sorry, Dante. I'm bagging this bitch.
Right, you are expected to lose this fight, but it is possible for you to win. It's just, especially on DMD, extremely difficult to do. I will give it my best go, and I'll be curious to see how far I get, but just understand that if you're going into this blind, and it's your first playthrough sort of thing, don't be looking at this fight and be intimidated of the game's difficulty because he kicks your ass. He's supposed to. The first real boss of the game is not until a little later on, and you'll notice when you fight that guy, or that thing, it's nowhere near as bad. Because despite Devil May Cry's infamous difficulty, it knows to be fair. And this, especially on the first playthrough, when you have zero tools, because you can't upgrade Nero until the end of Mission 1, is a nightmare. It's genuinely extremely difficult to do. But the main thing that you're trying to do is break the shield first, which is that red thing that's glowing around. Every time you get close and hit something, you're instead hitting the shield, which will hit that red crystal. But the health of that red crystal is inconsistent. Sometimes you can do very little and it will seem to take a lot of damage, whilst other times you'll do everything in your power and that bar does not move. The enemy's health bar is when you lock on, it's the circle. It's the blue circle, but for bosses, they get the special health bar at the bottom too. You're noticing as well that I'm accessing... Oh, spoilers. I should have put that at the start, but whatever. I'll put it in the description or something at the start, but I will be using all of Nero's tools, including the stuff he's not supposed to get until after you beat the game, because it's on the hardest difficulty, so I'm going to use everything he has. But then saying that, the game is 2 years old, well, 2 years old as of its upload, which wasn't my intention. I was always planning on covering this as my first PS5 Let's Play. It's just that when this comes out on the Monday, this game will be celebrating its second birthday, which is wild to think about. When you think it was an 11-year wait, 11 years and 2 months after Devil May Cry 4 for DMC5 to come out. I made videos on this channel either memeing about how there still isn't a DMC5 or straight up talking about what I wish to see if there ever was. I remember it specifically in the Devil May Cry 2 Let's Play during Lucia's playthrough. It was the second or third video of that Let's Play. I spent the whole video talking about what I would love to see if there was ever a Devil May Cry 5, and it was literally like a month later it was announced. But I'm probably not going to win this with everything thinking I'm going to... Oh, I didn't get hit by that good. So I'm probably not going to win. Oh, there we go. And so I fall. I didn't do too bad, to be fair. And we've definitely got that S rank looking at the stylish points. You need 6,000 on DMD to get an S rank, with it lowering by 500 every difficulty you lower down by.
This is it! This is the end! It's all over!
Round 2.
Get her out of here! This is a bad move! I can still fight! Go! You're just dead weight! Back up! Come on! Let go! We must leave here. It's far stronger than we ever could have imagined. That bastard called me deadweight, but he came all this way for nothing. Stop hitting yourself and think of ways to get stronger and actually help. If Dante loses, you're all that can defeat Urizen. Is that what you call him? Yes. Urizen, the Demon King. That's the name of the demon that took your arm.
What happened to Dante? Where's Dante?
He's buying time, but it doesn't look good.
This can't be happening. Dante lost.
Forget it. There's nothing we can do. We must go.
And that's the entirety of our opening. The moment I first played this, I was like, oh shit, Dante's been defeated. And it's like, it's not DMC4 where he was basically on holiday for the whole thing. There's actually some real stakes in this. Ooh.
Redgrave and its surrounding cities have ceased to function as a result of a mysterious tree that apparently attacked the city approximately 1 month ago. In light of this incident, the government...
They're demons! I've seen them with my own eyes! Redgrave is completely taken over!
Let us pray for mercy. This is a trial from the heavens above.
Same crap, different day. So, tell me,
Tell you what,
how does it feel to be rescuing the guy that killed your father?
hey, I'm glad we're getting personal. Well, he abandoned my mother and I and left us for dead. I feel nothing.
Well, he's not exactly going up for Father of the Year award now, is he?
His research wasn't half bad. Came in handy. Mildly thankful for that.
They have to do that in here. It already smells like gas.
That's you.
Hey, Nico!
Don't lose your tits. I see him.
Hey, you have to hit every single bump in the road? Gonna ruin my groove.
going on?
You look like you need a hug, but you're not gonna get one from me. Better get lost.
Hey, who are you? Hey, you're gonna get yourself killed!
Don't crap yourself. He likes to kill demon things. Let him do his thing.
You hear what I said, you dumb one-armed son of a bitch? You're gonna die!
Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes? All right. Time to kick some ass.
And thus we begin the real beginning of the game after that amazing opening cutscene. Mission 1 titled Nero. And you'll notice we're on Special Edition because the loading has been lightning fast. Like, I'm not going to edit out any of the loading because I want to kind of humble brag about how good the loading is in Special Edition when the original's loading was so fucking slow. Like, it was one of those things. Like, I've noticed it as well playing Genshin. Like, the next generation is really here with loading. Also, it's worth mentioning as well, my TV can't support 4K, nor can it support 120 frames. So the game will be running at 1080p 60, which was what Base 4 is running on. But I assure you it is Special Edition, because you'll see with all the effects how fast the loading is, and especially when we start playing as Virgil and going to LDK Special Edition only. I was going to turn on ray tracing as well for this, just since you can do ray tracing at 60 as well. But when I was experimenting with it, I couldn't help but notice, I don't know whether it's because of the recording as well, but it was struggling to maintain 60. So I just eventually decided, you know what, I'll just go without, because when I eventually get a TV that can, or monitor that will support 120 frames, I'll tell you right now, ray tracing will never turn on for any game ever. I'd always rather 120 frames. But it is just how it is as we continue onwards and cause a bit more carnage. Oh! Okay. I had to... As soon as Nero said that, in the back of my mind, I was like, I wonder if I'll get hit now. But that's the first, like, proper hit we've taken that isn't from the boss you're supposed to lose to. To be fair, I'll be curious to see how my playstyle worsens, or just in general is different as we go through this. Because I'm talking as well as playing. I'm usually just playing in silent. I should also mention as well, for people who are like more into like the inner machinations of Devil May Cry, the control setup I'm using, and I'm going to tell you now, it will horrify you. I use the default for Nero. I don't put his gun on R2 like most people do. I leave it on square. Why? Because the game, when you're not using your mechanical arms, the Devil Breakers, which I'll explain in a minute, you get your Devil Bringer back and it puts that on R2, and I'm just more comfortable with the Bringer on R2 because it's just, I just tap it on the side and I go on about it. I'd rather, because I'm used to claw grip anyway, just have my thumb on square and have my index finger do all the attacking instead of it being my thumb doing the attacking. And it also weirdly helps with my muscle memory when I'm then playing as Virgil and I use my thumb for the attacking. Because Virgil's timings on some of his attacks are very different than any other characters. But when it's like tied to my thumb almost, I seem to be pretty consistent even if I don't play with him in a while, because I don't use my thumb for any other character, really. Like to jump the gun a little, I claw grip with V and Dante as well. Virgil is the only one I don't. Because it's just how I play him. But we've got a new enemy, the Red Impuser, and this isn't really an enemy. It's an actual genuine attempt to innovate on the red orb crystals, where you have to whack them for as long as you can to get as many red orbs as you please. And to be fair, they bring them back and try and innovate on them too. But these I like. The other thing I'm not too keen on, for reasons I'll get to. But these are literally enemy red orbs. You just have to try and kill them as quickly as you can to break them to get a shit ton of red orbs, which is just, I think it's a natural way of innovating on the system. Instead of whacking a rock for as long as possible to hit it, like that makes more sense. But the other one is the whack the rock, but instead of it being just hit it for as long as you can to get as many red orbs as you can only hit it so many times before it breaks, limiting how many you can get technically. But you get a shit ton when you break it, because it's still time limited, but when you break it, like you get that set amount, and it's like that's the hard limit you can get. Whilst in DMC4, you'd roll up with Trish, throw the sword at it, immediately start doing the spin kicks, and get a shit ton of red orbs, and you would just last it out until the time limit runs out. And you could just keep on going until then. It wouldn't break. Whilst in this, it does break after a while, which I feel like, well, if you're already going to have the enemies that will escape if you give it too long, you don't need to do the whole try and break the statue in the time limit when you're already doing try and kill the enemy in the time limit, you know? But after this cutscene, I'll talk about Devil Break.
What a lovely houseplant. Now I brought the marshmallows, because I'm bringing the fire.
The Clyforth Roots is by far the easiest boss in the game. You just gotta whack the red thing and just be wary of the thorns. After a little while, it will spawn an enemy to try and give you a bit more trouble. And on the harder difficulties, the enemy it spawns is different. But the Devil Breakers, in the game, it launched with 8 Devil Breakers and a bunch of DLC or joke ones. They are Overture, which is a basic all-rounder where you can do shock blasts out of your hand to get enemies away from you, or if you hold down the button, eventually plant a bomb. Gerberer, the giant mobility one, which the normal Gerberer, if you're standing still, will try and shoot enemies away, whilst the DLC version is only going to launch you. It's 100% mobility and not 90%. The rocket arm, I forget what it's called, I just call it rocket punch, is you shoot, it turns into a little rocket and you can fire it off. You can ride it as a skateboard. If you hold it down, it shoots a giant like uppercut, not too dissimilar to Real Impact or that Dante has. Just arguably not as powerful. Ragtime allows you to pause, make a pocket of time to freeze, or if you hold it down, slow down the entire world for a duration. The Buster arm is, did you like the Devil Bringer? Well, now you've got the Devil Buster, basically. And it's the same sort of deal, it just does more damage than when you get the Devil Bringer. You got Helter Skelter, which is a huge charge up push, and a couple others I'll have to explain at the end.
Hey, tough guy. That'll keep him, but not for long.
What do you mean?
Soldier Boy said city's gone to hell and back, taken over by the underworld. Not just here, but everywhere.
Yamato did this.
Why do I feel like your pet mechanic? Don't get used to it.
Nico, I showed you those order docs, so you still owe me, remember?
Hey, you two! Dinner's ready!
Be right there! Hey, why don't you go ahead? I'm gonna finish up here.
I'll try to save you some. Not.
You need something? What is it? You hungry? Well, you're in luck, pal, 'cause food's ready and Kitty A always makes too much. Hope you like loud talkers, too, 'cause got a pair of those upstairs. You see something you like? What the hell? You a demon?
Nero, the food's getting
Kitty, get back inside now!
I'm taking this back. I'm running out of time.
Wait!
I'll leave you alone for 2 minutes. What the hell happened?
He's waiting for us up ahead. Try not to get us killed on the way there.
And that's going to be the end of this first part of Devil May Cry 5. Post-Rob is now talking because Live Rob never actually got around to talking about the rest of the Devil Breakers again. So I am going to quickly go over the last of them now to wrap up as we go. Firstly, it's called Punchline, the Rocket Punch. That's his official name. I just have always called it Rocket Punch, which is why I just called it that in the live recording, but it is actually called Punchline. But continuing where I left off, Helter Skelter, since I didn't really explain it well, is basically a drill arm. You press the button and you make like a drill attack that will pierce through enemy defenses. You hold it down, you'll turn into a human drill, lunge forward before it then breaks. After that is Rawhide, where that heavily strengthens the actual draw line, where if you tap B when you're locked onto an enemy, you'll pull them towards you, or circle if you're on PlayStation, which is like the Devil Bringer's biggest ticket. They had to give Nero that, really, because it's such a key part of his moveset even after losing his arm. So if they got rid of that, it just would have hurt his moveset too much as a whole. So he does have that too. But Rawhide, its main focus is that it severely strengthens the pull of that, allowing you to pull demons you usually wouldn't, including very big ones, and including, in some instances, bosses. If you charge it up and then release it, Nero will do a giant whip with the thing around himself that will catch an enemy and pull them around with the whip and beat up anything in his immediate vicinity. After that is the one you're probably not going to see me use full stop in this Let's Play, just because I can't really get the grips of it, and that is Tomboy. Tomboy powers up your sword or powers up your gun. And what it means by power up is that it completely changes the moveset. Tomboy gives Nero a second alternate moveset that's far more aggressive and deactivates your ability to lock on, but is a really powerful thing in the right hands. And I'm not going to take away from that. It's one of the most impressive and captivating Devil Breakers in the game. I just am not 100% on board with it, and I never really have been, and have kind of given up trying, at least for now, and at least during this Let's Play. Maybe one day I'll go back and give it a proper look. The rest are DLCs. I've talked about the Gerbera GP01, which is just the Gerbera but better. The Pasta Breaker is a complete meme weapon. It's just there as a joke, so don't worry about it. It's a really weak discount punchline, because you can just send it out. Sweet Surrender will heal you if you activate it, and if you charge it down, will heal you in a burst and then break. And then lastly is the Mega Buster, the Mega Man's Mega Buster, which will shoot the pellets. If you leave it for a while, then it will shoot a stronger burst. If you charge it up, it will shoot an even stronger burst. All Devil Breakers fall under this mechanic of if you do the charge up attack, they will break afterwards. Additionally, if you're in mid-use of one and are hit, the breaker will take the damage as well and smash immediately. Which is why you're always going to see me equipped with 8 arms. Because when one breaks, you immediately rotate onto the next one. You can't auto-swap them with the D-pad, which I get that their reasoning was to not make him feel too similar to Dante, but I kind of also disagree with it, because I'm like, no, give the player as many tools as possible. I'd rather have them, like, given Nero, say, 5 Devil Breakers, but made it so you can swap between them on the D-pad in the same way you could swap styles with Dante on the D-pad, sort of thing. Just make the 5th one, whichever direction you press it again, sort of like how you got Yamato in DMC4. But I digress. It is how they've decided to go for it, and I don't hate it. I actually love what it does for Nero, because Nero I felt was kind of basic as a whole in DMC4. He had a lot under the hood, but just nowhere near as much as the absolute walking arsenal that was Dante in Devil May Cry 4. But that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video before it gets any longer. Next time on Devil May Cry 5, we're going to continue our search through the city to try and find V so we can work out what we're doing to try and get closer to that giant demon Urizen once more. But until then, you guys take care now. Peace.